Friends, so today I am Aditya come up with a very fresh topic, and today we will discuss about the topic the green hydrogen will transform India. And totally that this news came up through the news outlets that the green hydrogen and in which the India will be soonly produced in India so that it can be generated in India, which is very useful for our country. And as we knew that hydrogen there is no CO2 emission, and which will also reduce the carbon emission in our society, in our world. Because of it, we can see the demerits of it, like the global warming and multiple of it. So this is a new revolution. So today we will start our topic with our first slide, and let's move to our first slide. The green hydrogen is produced through the electrolysis, and as we know that the water will be separated into two elements. The first one is hydrogen and second one is oxygen due to the process of electrolysis, and we can see that this is a type of renewable resources, like as we see in the renewable powers like solar, wind, and which is used for the energy for splitting the water into hydrogen and oxygen. So if we're talking about that, what is the total machine, the next electrolysis technology, what is its name? It is known as the proton exchange membrane. And if we see that there is no further discharge of harmful chemicals in it, and it is totally environment friendly and easy to manage. And firstly, that for the starting years, it must be at high cost, but after getting regular in our society, in our world, it get reduced, its prices get lost, because as you know that the technology comes first, it always having the esteemed prices, but when it comes, it get reduced. So next move to our second slide, that there is a process that how hydrogen produced. If we seen that there are windmills, there are hydroelectricity powers which will generate electricity, which will generate energy, and which is known as the renewable energy. But if we see that there are some demerits of it, talking about the windmills, because windmills need a huge amount of area and huge amount of cost expenses are utilized to make these, because and there is one more condition applicable on it, that the high atmospheric pressure areas, the high where the wind speed is quite high, so at that areas the windmills will install. So because of it, because these are having the long blades, and the cleaning process is very hard. And talking about the hydrolysis, that if you seen my old video about the dams, the video name is Himachal Pradesh at risk, at high risk, so you can watch in the I button. And talking about this, that there is a risk for the dams, for the hydroelectricity. Like we can talking about the hydroelectricity have no risk, but it can produce and it is renewable, but we can see that there are mainly threats of it. We can talking about the Kinnaur dam, we can also talking about the Nagpur dam. Because of this, we can see the earth got many cracks. So I think you understand the meaning of it. But if we go through the new process which is known as the hydrogen, the green hydrogen production through the electrolysis, it is quite very, I think that very impressive, and it is a quite very technological thing that which have no demerits. And I think that its installation in the few years very fast, because the some countries are America and other countries are working on it, and they also established 2 3 plants or 5 3 plants of it in their countries. And we can talking about, like in this channel we can see that there is positive and negative ionizers. We can also say the rods which will divide the oxygen, which will divide the hydrogen into gas, and this hydrogen gas will be collected and compressed in the containers. And you can see that how it can be used in the ships, in the cargo ships, as an energy in the vehicles. And because we can see the huge amount of reduce in carbon emission. So talking about the India energy consumption, we can see the industrial sector, it used about 56% of whole energy, and residential, agriculture, commercial, public sectors, there are 31% uses, and the transport section, there is 10% consumption. So I think that due to this sector, we can see a great change in it. And talking about the latest affairs about it, the Mukesh Ambani sees green hydrogen at the cost coming down 1 rupee, $1, which is about 74 rupees kg in 10 years. So as I told you earlier, that in the upcoming, when the technology newly came, it is having the high cost prices, but when it get regular to our world, to our society, so it get a huge amount of loss. We can say that the reduce in prices. So Ambani is saying about it, and we can also see that the green hydrogen is a new ally for a zero carbon future. So that is a very great news for the whole world, that this type of hydrogen, green hydrogen, which we utilized for our country, for our world, so that we can also see that India will ensure the Paris Agreement. And talking about the Indian Oil Corporation to build India's first green hydrogen plant, as we see. So Indian Oil is the Indian beneficiary, and it's Indian company. So it's a great news that when this the hydrogen green hydrogen plant will be established in India, it's totally gave the employment. We can also see it attracts the many countries also to generate green hydrogen plants. So definitely it gives a great employment as well as great benefit to our country. And we can see that its refinery will be established in Mathura. Next news. The next news is about the power minister invites the US firms to participate in upcoming bids for green hydrogen. So our RKSingh, which is our renewable energy minister, he talked to the ministers of the US to participate the upcoming bids for the green hydrogen. Like the Indian government wanted to set up the hydrogen, green hydrogen whole process, whole firms, whole factories. So for that, the RK Singh invites their investors to invest upon these bids, so that the government will choose a financially a good bids, and they can give the whole tender to them to make it. So I hope that you will clear, uh, you make you make clear this topic, and I hope please subscribe our channel and please share it. Thank you.